put it in. So everybody put them in, you know. But
Hmm. Ah, oh, that was loud. Ah, interesting. Either way, I think I'll take it, just to have some fun with it. Nothing says a fun time like drawing the Ace of Hearts.
All right, I do apologize for being late, everybody. We are getting ready right
Todak suddenly
now.
turns into an ancient red dragon.
yeah.
I think our DM fell into the shitter.
Nope, I'm back.
Oh, okay.
I hope that wasn't anything too painful.
I'll deal with it. Also, I think your misunderstanding of the Deck of Illusions works.
That's what it. Yeah, I could be mistaken, but because I didn't look it up. But
Can you guys hear me?
Yes, we
you're
can.
low, but I can hear you. I can turn you up on this.
Odd.
Well, I have you. Oddly enough, on this device, I have you turned down really, really low. So that could be why.
Okay, but to my understanding, the Deck of Illusion works as basically you draw a card, throw it down, and like where you throw it down, a lich appears, and that's it. He just stands
Oh,
there.
it's a illusion. Like I don't get the illusion cast on me. The card just casts the illusion on the spot.
Yeah, it's good for like intimidating people, I guess, and tricking them.
DC Intelligence 15. Investigation check. I guess we didn't even ask if it was missing any cards.
You did not.
If it was the one of the last things we did, so I guess we didn't really have much time to really explore it.
Mm-hmm.
I am just looking for the thing I wrote down for where what is what. All right, so I do apologize for being a little bit late, guys, between work and nature. So we're back here today with the D&D. It's not going to be a very long adventure today, just because we're wrapping up chapter 1. So as we left off, everybody, I am unmuted, right? Okay, yes, I am.
About that.
Oh, that reminds me, I should probably turn you on.
Not fully okay with how you worded that, but that's okay.
Like
You know,
really
if you
gotta...
don't, yeah, if you don't have a sick mind, you don't notice these things. So thank you for pointing them out. I would not have noticed.
Someone's being educated. uh,
Oh, look at that.
Todak. Now, when last we left off, I don't think I got a chance to say it, but Todak actually marked the hag that got away.
Yes.
All right, then
So,
that. And he's going to walk towards you, Todak. It's like, oh, Froggy, you're good at finding things, right? You can find the other hag, can't you?
Toadek can find that ugly thing easily. Do we wish to hunt it? Oh, we wish to hunt it.
Yes, yes. As Auntie Karen says that she's barely able to stand up.
Can fix that. Toadek will cat. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Go ahead. I was going to say, I am very drained as it is. I'm on my last bit of power. So we need to
Toadek
play it
has used
smart.
no power. Toadek will cast Cure Wounds on Auntie Karen. And it'll be 1d8 plus wisdom. Why is everything black on my screen? Motherfucker. Auntie Karen gets a whopping 5 hit points back.
Alright, turned off dynamic lighting because it's no longer needed.
The creature should also be well spent. It took much beatings from us. If it has not used most of its own spells to heal itself, then it is a fool.
Assuming that it even can.
Then we will find the weakened creature and finish it off. Allow Toadek a moment. Toadek has used Hunter's Mark, 1 Hunter's Mark, and 1 Cure Wounds. How bad off is Auntie Karen? Could she use another one?
Yeah, she's bloodied, so she's less than half.
Okay, so then we'll throw another d8 into her for 6. And that's unfortunately what I'm going to do for now. So that's have one of those left. Hunter's Mark allows me to make. I think I just know where it is.
Yes, you do. You can tell the distance and everything.
All right, and then Toadek starts to lead the way.
As you start to lead the way, you do notice that with your hunter's mark, it is several thousand meters away from you already.
Oh shit!
And as you start to walk away, you hear.
By the forest, what makes this wailing noise? Kill it quickly.
I think we saved one of the civilians.
Sorry, go ahead.
Said I think we saved one of the civilians. It's probably that guy or girl.
It's a
Okay.
child.
Yep.
Oh,
Oh,
it was coming from
right.
a small human boy.
It's okay now, sweet child. The bad people are gone.
It's not even looking at you at the moment. It is just on. It's just curled up on the floor, crying, as it has witnessed many a horror.
Dusk is going to try to soothe. Not with words, just but with presence. The child. And she says to Auntie Karen, it nods over towards the fallen that were in the thing there, and in your head, Auntie Karen says, "See if there's anything that can be done for them." I'm not sure if we checked that last game session or not, but
You have
see
not.
if they can be saved. See if they can be saved.
Karen will nod as she goes over to the presumed corpses. Should I make a medical check to see if there's any way to save them?
Go ahead and make a medical check, and Dusk, make a charisma check.
I'm going to use guidance, if you don't mind.
Go ahead.
Charisma.
Okay, that was accidentally to GM by rolled an 11 on medical.
Yes, let's go with the 11. Alright, with a 15, the kid, it's still crying, but he kind of moves towards you as if, he knows you're, you're not going to hurt him, and that you can be trusted. Auntie Karen, as you're looking over this body, this one specifically, it looks more like a shriveled up husk now than the corpse of a human, just like all the other ones that are outside, as if all the moisture and life was drained out of them during this ritual.
All right, I'll look over the rest of these bodies here. Are they the same?
Including the hag that you mushed up, yes, they are all the same.
That's does not bode well. But she eventually goes over to Dusk, and I think we still have the connection. So she says in your head, "No, they're too far gone."
Oh, it's all that Alexandrite. What are you doing? Planes, are you there?
If you are, you're muted.
Nothing's lighting up or anything. I guess we'll just keep going for now and wait for planes to come back.
Okay, and I guess I'll go over to Todak and say, "The hunt. We can do that another time. For now, let's get the boy back into the house. Give him some time to rest."
Todak displeased, but I suppose we have done what we set out to do.
Yes, yes.
Out
Don't.
of character. Sorry, out of character. How far away from the town are we? Half a day's travel, was it? Just about a day?
Just about a day, so you're definitely going to need some rest, especially after all of that.
Don't get me wrong. I am severely, severely displeased that we cannot kill the last of these hags, but for now we must tend to the living.
Alright, well, luckily for you, there are some very quote unquote comfortable beds for you guys to rest on and recuperate.
Yep. And Karen takes the kid and puts him in like the main bedroom over here.
I think one of us should probably stay with the child.
I will do that.
Oh, Alexandra, you're back. Good.
Yep.
So during that little bit of time, just because I did ask, what are you going to be doing while Karen is checking the bodies and Dusk is soothing the child?
That is a good question. I guess investigating the house. See if there's something left we didn't find. Any sort of notes. Maybe somebody left some notes on what kind of ritual this was here. Or maybe there's some hidden prison where they're keeping more innocents in prison or something of the like.
Alright, you can absolutely do that. You can go ahead and give me an investigation check for that stuff. And Todak, you did want to have that deck, right? You were looking for it?
I will, if the deck is still available, Todak will take a look through it.
Well, can't really look through it, but you can definitely take it. Alexandrite, you don't find anything pertaining to a ritual in the house. If whatever this was, it seems to have no connection to the main house itself.
Alright.
Okay. Uh, so since Todak has been told to give up the hunt for now, Todak is going to basically do one more search around the compound.
All right. Give me perception, and are you going to draw from the deck?
Not right away. Fuck no.
Okay. So I
mean,
still
it'd
have.
be fun. I see it there. I am tempted to. I tell you what. But perception check for now.
You take a look around. There doesn't seem to be anything too much. You know, some dead vegetation. If you look really hard at some of the trees, it looks like they're starting to shrivel up, like the life force is being drained out of them, or was being drained out of them. Dusk, with your spell and help, the boy actually does manage to quietly go to sleep.
All right, the spell is not to put him to sleep. It's just to keep us protected.
Okay, well, he does quietly go to sleep.
With the tiny hut.
And it is set so that the party can enter if need be.
If it starts getting late, Todak's going to stay on watch for the first.
Auntie Karen will tell everyone that she'd like to take the first watch and let you all get some little nap in.
Todak can agree to that.
Yep, Alex as well. Alex would like to stay in the tiny hut as well. There should be enough space if I remember correctly.
Yeah,
Yep.
there's plenty
So,
of space.
9. Okay, yeah.
Yep. Though Auntie Karen says she'll stick to her tent that she made in the living room.
Are there barrels of water here?
I'm sure they have. Well, the well is completely useless at this point, but
Which is why I asked about barrels.
Well, give me a perception check to see if you can find any barrels full of water.
if we have to pull from the well and you need water, I can purify the water and the food.
As appreciative as Todak would be of that, it bodes poorly to even
Consider
bathe
it.
in. Yes.
If the map is correct, there is a pond to the right.
If there is, let me take a look here.
With your perception check, you do not see. You are looking specifically for a barrel, and just kind of goes right over your head.
Question though, why would this place have a well when there's a pond right there?
Because the pond may not be good drinking water.
Yeah, I mean,
Uh,
pond has organisms and so on and so forth. While you might be able to get drinkable water out of it, it would probably have to be treated. Whereas a well is a little bit more pure, a little cleaner.
was once upon a time.
But typically would be cleaner, I would assume. Still wouldn't be a bad idea to boil it before you use it, regardless. But
Well, if Todak can determine that the pond is at least better condition than the fucking well, then I'll use that.
For drinking, no, I wouldn't say that, but for
Doing what Todak needs.
it's good enough.
Okay. Then that's how I'll spend 1 hour of late before my go to sleep.
Okay. Also, I can't seem to find the goddamn notes I made on this deck, so that means I'm just gonna have to look up the deck itself.
is it on the table? Did you put it on the table? Is it part of the?
Well, I just didn't. I wrote down what each card meant, but
Right.
because I had a very specific thing there, but I guess I'll just have to refer to the actual item on
Right.
Roll20.
For now, until you. I mean, we're not. Hopefully, we don't draw all the cards in one go when you
It would be hilarious.
Dusk says that I can take a watch, but I can't leave the bubble. So I'm limited as to how effective I'm going to be.
That'll be fine. And I guess unless anyone else says anything, her 2-hour watch finishes and she goes over to Dusk and wakes her up for watch 2.
Then Dusk does so.
Okay. Yeah. No. As you guys are doing your watches, there's nothing that would ever. There's nothing that pops up. Nothing that comes by. It's not even the whisper of coyotes or any of the normal animals that you would hear late at night.
Todak.
Yes.
How well, you're sleeping, so I'll wait until you wake up. But when you do, how long does that mark last? Is it permanent until you release it?
Hunter's mark is, I think it's only hours. Let me see here. Yeah, I have to sack higher level spells in order to get up to 24 hours. For right now, I used a level 1, so it was only active for 1 hour.
So that potential is lost.
It is, but I at least can remember. I can recall where the direction would have taken me and potentially move from there.
I'm not very good at the detective skills.
I can track things. Let me see here.
Well, you can, but you'd have to track it from the location that it was at when it last stopped using Dimension Door, as that's how it escaped in the first place.
Todak can see when Todak wakes up and you ask him these questions. Todak can see about asking the very nature of this world to see if they can reveal where it is to him.
Well, that'd be a neat trick.
You're asking what to do what, sorry?
I'm going to see exactly how much I can apply to this creature. It is humanoid. I hate it. I can use a combination of spells and skills to see if I can find it. And I took the spell Locate Animal. If Todak doesn't think of this creature as sentient, which he doesn't, he can probably use it.
Unfortunately, it doesn't work like that. The
Bugger.
way that the way the spells are used are when it says animal, it specifically means the classification animal in the monster's manual.
Yeah, and humanoid has to be humanoid, can't be fey.
Creatures of
Right.
Fey then. All right.
Yeah, so there's no clever wording in order to get what you need.
I tried that, remember, on the troll?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Then yeah, that's all I can do, but I could still ask the nature to see if there's anything I can find out. Using primeval awareness, I can at least commune with birds and other fun shit like that, and punch a wolf until it tells me what I want to know.
Well, you can do that, but there's nothing around you. It is really disturbing how dead it is around here.
Then, unfortunately, Todak can't do jack. Not until we begin the hunt in earnest.
And I'm guessing that they forgot to take a look at the body of Haggith because things are going to happen. All right, so you guys are spending the entire night here until daytime, right? Because it was just turning a little dark as you guys finished up the fight.
Yep. Well, that's
Yep.
at least my explanation for. And I will make a perception check for the night.
All right, go ahead. Yeah, nothing comes by, no sound, no peep. It is quiet.
find this unhappy. Todak will take his patrols around and that will probably be it for the night until he has to go wake up Alexandre for the last watch.
All right. Then you can wake up Alexandrite for the last watch as the sun is slowly starting to rise.
Yep. Do I also roll a perception?
Yeah, you can go ahead and roll.
17.
You watch the sunrise while you keep watch. The sounds, there's not even the sounds of crickets or birds to accompany the rising sun.
Well, at dawn, she will obviously get up and pray for her spells. I need to switch some of her spells out to change for to cover for circumstances. Let's see.
There we go. Good, good, good.
I am poor. All of the all of the cool stuff needs money.
Yeah, that's the problem with being a cleric or a paladin. All the cool stuff requires money.
I mean, it doesn't consume it, but
Put
like
in hand in order to cast it.
with clairvoyance, need 100 gold piece focus.
We don't even have 100 gold pieces between us.
Not yet. So, as dawn starts to rise, the child awakens. Are you guys going to take one last look around the area before leaving, or are you just going to leave?
You would all note that after morning comes, Auntie Karen has not left her tent.
Oh, that's right. You need to roll, don't you?
Oh, we're doing this. Let's do it.
What are we doing? What's going on?
Don't
Oh,
worry.
no.
This makes this one nervous.
Yeah, yeah.
What is that?
Grew another head.
What the hell is happening?
We will find out here in a second. I am looking it up.
Grim
Oh.
shenanigans.
No. I don't even know what that means, and it still terrifies me.
So 76. No, you're fine, Auntie Karen. You are absolutely fine.
Hey, old lady, are you awake yet?
Old lady.
You hear some singing coming from her tent. Low singing.
Todak has concerns. He did not know Auntie Karen sung.
I based on what I know of Auntie Karen, it sounds probably not too pleasant.
I'm feeling better than you. Better than usual. I feel indisputable.
Yeah, Alex returns back to dusk.
Oh, I'm feeling so beautiful.
She's singing. It's horrible, but at least it looks like she's all right.
Man, all the spells.
The child is stirring and is looking up at you, Dustin. He's like, I'm hungry.
Okay, well, let's go make you something to eat. I'm going to, because I don't know if there is anything to eat, I'm going to create food and water just in case for the day.
Well, you remember that Annie Karen like pretty much stole all the food and shoved it into a sack.
Oh, that's right. We do have food then.
Yes, you do.
You just got to
Right.
tell
and-
Auntie Karen to go make breakfast.
Auntie Karen, the little pink thing requires sustenance.
If you yell that at her tent, she's not. You don't see any disturbance. She's not doesn't seem to be moving much, but you do continue to hear the singing.
The pink thing. What the hell are you, an Andorian?
Well, to be fair, all of these creatures are pink things, except Auntie Karen, who might be a different color.
Seafoam green.
There you go.
Seafoam green.
Alright, so while she is cooking, what are you guys going to be doing?
I am.
I don't
Well,
think
she's
there's-
not cooking yet. She's still in her tent.
What am I going to take?
You know what? Todak actually is just going to go knock on the tent. Todak understands that many things first thing in the morning require many people to be happy. However, you seem to be singing an awful lot. So, is everything all right?
Well, the tent. You can't really knock on it. You can definitely go
Okay.
in.
I could shimmer it. Oh, sorry. I'm thinking of like Mylar tents from today. You're right. I'm gonna go in then. I swear to God, Todak sees Auntie Karen naked. He's probably going to gouge both of his eyes out and run into the woods.
Do it, do it, do it, do it, do it!
No, she's not naked. However, something's weird with her back. It seems to be moving, and then as you like continue to look inside, quickly her like neck snaps towards you, looks at you. But for a moment, it's like
Forgot
Or,
about
like,
that.
bone structure. You can see it like on the side of her face. The rest of her like skin just sort of like quickly snaps to where it should be. However, her eyes are completely milky white, and after a while, the pupils of her eyes slowly roll into place where they should be. She's just like looking at you. Hello, Froggy.
Morning.
Good morning. Let me go make breakfast.
Okay.
I'm
Todak
try-
immediately gets out of the way and goes on patrol. Quickly!
Alright, so you're going on patrol. Where are you going?
Away. Todak is going to try to examine just outside of the view of this map, I suppose, and try and see if fuck, that's gonna be nightmare fuel now. It's just all I could see in my mind's eye. I'm gonna see if the plant life is on any kind of route to recovery now that the magic has stopped.
Not that you can tell close, but there is almost like a dividing line to where there's dead vegetation and living and thriving vegetation.
Okay. Then I will just keep on doing patrols looking for critters.
At a distance out, there does seem to be some birds flying about. You might see an odd squirrel or something running through the grass, but they don't dare cross that threshold.
Okay, that's enough for me. You guys can deal with the kid.
Yeah, Dusk is going to be spending most of her time keeping the kid company. In Alexandrite, you're in the kitchen, or you are patrolling?
So, I was actually going to plan on also, at least for a moment, sticking with the kid and asking it a couple of questions. This time, Alex is actually going to ask nicely.
Oh, good. You're not going to traumatize the kid any further.
No, he has enough tact not to do that. But Alex still wants to know what happened. So he's going to ask, well, what happened to the child? Do we even know his name already?
You do not.
Well, I would assume that by now I would have figured it out. I didn't want to go into details as to what was talked about because that could suck up a lot of time. But
He gave you the name of Bob. His parents didn't like him.
Is Bob the older brother of the one kid we talked to?
Bob is this kid. He is not related to the one that you talked to, no.
Oh, that's sad.
Then we would ask about his family, where he's from, and then also what happened to him when he was taken, how he was taken, and then what happened to him afterwards.
He will explain, as best he can. He's a small child that he's from the town that you guys have visited, where all the other children had gone missing. He was taken by a flying person. Couldn't really describe it all that well, and he was locked in that barn with the others until it was time to be put in place himself, and that's when you guys showed up.
Okay. Well, afterwards, after asking a couple of questions, is that here a bookshelf? Question mark.
It is one of the ones you guys had checked out before.
I don't exactly remember what we saw. Are there books in there? I assume.
There are books in there. Some of it's what? Okay, that was weird. Some of it's just about cooking. There's a few novels. Nothing really important that would stand out.
You know what? Alex is still going to take one of the cookbooks and sit down and start reading. Actually, he's going to sit down here. Feet on the table.
Okay, Karen is cooking. Todak, you gonna be coming back to join up? Gonna be checking anything on the inside? Make sure nothing's hiding. What you doing?
Well, if there's no immediate threat, Todak's going to come back and just say, let's go home.
Okay.
Bob, do you have more family in town, in your village?
I have my mom and pop, but I think they're probably glad I'm gone now.
Explain. What do you mean? Why would they be glad that you're gone?
They called me a sin. They beat me all the time.
Todak is becoming depressed with this line of conversation.
Huh.
If you remember, the older kid did say that they were never treated right, that they were, scorned, and as if, the parents knew they were going to be taken away.
And we definitely need to talk to these parents one of the days, but
Making
don't worry, child.
pancakes,
I
making
think
pancakes. You take some
the
bacon and
church
you
might
put it in the pancakes.
might be able to give you a better home.
I think you're right there. Assuming that you don't mind sticking with us for a little while.
So just to clarify, you will not be taking him back to the town.
I don't know yet. We're discussing it. But if your mother and father have,
Are there
If
religious
they're not-
organizations that'll take him?
Nicholas probably would. They're a very
I am pretty sure the Inquisition also needs new recruits, especially those that have reason to despise hags and the like.
There you go. Who would have expected the Inquisition would be handy?
well, Nicholas. Their domain is healing and the ease of suffering and freedoms. So, I mean, I'm fairly certain that they would take him in. Seems right up their alley. I just need to find a suitable temple, a city large enough that actually has one.
Well, town that you guys started in definitely has one. You did pray there quite often.
Yeah. However, the town seems to be corrupt, or at least it seems that is an investigation that needs to happen. So it may not be trustworthy.
Man, I'm making them paranoid as hell.
If you get what I'm saying.
Oh, I do.
To the rest of them, anyway. I mean, like, this may be above our pay grade. Um, I don't know what to do about a corrupt town.
Todak holds a torch.
Yes, that seems like the correct solution.
Haha, Todak
they-
knows something.
I would rather not, punish anyone that might be innocent. So, do you think there is a way that we can try and separate the guilty from the not guilty? And is, administering proper punishment?
Ooh, Todak knows this one. Put the child in front of the crowd and give everyone a rock. Everyone who doesn't have a rock at the end of the day is guilty.
The kid looks at you with like fearful eyes.
Surprisingly, I actually like your idea, Frog.
Oh god.
But
Yes, let's stone a small child.
yeah, there are some problems with that idea, but I like the general idea.
Todak is not a people person.
Dusk, you have your work cut out for you. I'm glad you're the moral center.
I gave solutions, not good solutions.
Would it be possible for Alex to contact somebody from the Inquisition so that we get the necessary personnel needed to investigate an entire town?
I mean, you could potentially once you get there, but there is also the fact that the Inquisition does not have as much authority in this country as others.
That is unfortunately true.
Right,
Todak puts away his torch and stone.
Well, we could also start with the parents, based on. And by the way, Alex would like to say this when the child isn't in the room. We know that they're guilty based on the child's testimony, and then we'll see what they say, what secrets they reveal while we're dealing with them.
I think there might be a little bit of confusion. I believe Dusk was talking about the major town that you guys started in, not the small hamlet where the child was from.
Right, taking him to the major town would be the wiser choice, but the question was what to do about the smaller town if it is in fact corrupt.
Oh, okay. I had those.
It is likely that not all the people in the little town is corrupt, and I was asking whether or not there might be a way to separate the guilty from the innocent, so that we don't cause undue suffering.
All right, boys and girls, let's gather up to the town without parents. It's Children of the Corn all over again.
She says that I do have a spell that I could use, Zone of Truth, but I don't have it prepared for today. It would have to be something we did tomorrow. That might come in handy.
Well, you guys...
I also suppose I could... Out of character, does she know of anybody in the larger city that she could contact? Somebody that she knows that was tied to her religion?
You would know people in the church, obviously, so you could contact a few of them.
That's, again, another spell that I could use for that. I could contact the village. Unfortunately, I don't have that one prepared either. That would have to be something I do tomorrow.
Well, you guys can either spend another day here, recuperate, or you guys can start heading back to the small hamlet or to the large city or large town.
Okay. Um, I would like to spend some time here because there's work to be done. We have um, victims that need to be given some proper time. That well needs to be cleaned.
That well needs to be purged.
Yeah, purged.
Well, there
and
is the
cleaned.
scarecrow and a flask of oil by the well. We can just when we were planning to leave, Andy Karen was just going to like toss the hay into the well and just set out a fire.
Unfortunately, that would destroy the well. We need to clean it. Well, I suppose they could fill it in and dig a new one.
Feel that
But-
that would have the bile seep into the groundwater at this point.
Yeah, I would. I'm not proficient with that sort of knowledge, but I do have a spell that could cleanse it. But we would need to take the people. I mean, the people need to be taken out so that they can be given proper rights.
Yeah, what's left of them.
What's left of them? Yes.
The child would
And
have
then-
to stay in the house at all times for this because this is going to be gruesome.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'll be right back. But you guys go ahead and Todak will help.
So if you guys have no objections, I would get to work on this for the day. And tomorrow I can prepare the Zone of Truth and Descending spell.
Sounds
And
like a plan.
All right. So the order that you guys are doing this, you're going to do the well first.
well, the first things first, we need to get the collect the bodies and bring them to a central point. Then collect the bodies from the well, bring them to the same point. Then give the funeral. We're probably going to have the funeral pyre the bodies after giving them last rites, and then I can do a what is it called? Purify food and drink on the well. It's going to take some time. But it's a ritual cast, so I can do it as many times as needed until it's clean.
Okay. You guys can absolutely start doing that. So you're gonna give the kid his breakfast. I'm assuming that's just about done cooking, and move towards the barn, the
Yeah, I
stables.
would also. I think I'm one of the stronger people, so I'm going to have to be doing a lot of the work. I think, but also, I would suggest that we give the kid some sort of job to keep him busy, because idle mind is a dangerous thing.
Todak will teach him the ways of the woods, away from the lake.
That works.
Yeah, keeping him away from this House of Horrors might actually be a good idea.
All right. So as you guys split off and do that, and you enter the stables, you are greeted to the sight of nothing.
Tracking. Plus
You're
4, plus 1d4.
trying to track if there was anything going on there. You're not gonna even search the
Drag-
stables.
Well, that's the thing. If there were corpses on the ground and they were moved, then it stands. You would, a rational mind would think that somebody moved them, hence tracks. So tracking.
There does not seem to be any tracks in the ground besides what was made through the combat. The signs of any dragging is actually away from the center where the ritual was to where the bodies were laying when you came in. However, you will notice that what was once a blood stain on the ground near the back wall, where Haggis' body was, because his head separated, and you guys just let his blood drain out. It is clean, and there is nothing.
I'd say after Dusk tells us about the stables, Karen's gonna go in there and, if I can, make a perception check on it.
Go ahead, what are you looking for?
Just anything out of the ordinary. She's gonna be looking up in the rafters in case, like, I don't know, all of it went up there. Who knows?
I will ritual cast a detect magic as well.
Karen? No, there's nothing in the rafters, nothing around. It is oddly spotless. Even the cauldron that was there is now gone as well. As for magic, you are sensing a massive amount of residual energy right where Haggis' body was, and it seemed to have moved around a little bit before just disappearing.
Kind of magic.
You're actually not sure. It doesn't seem to be what you're used to.
Well, I'm not actually. Well, okay. I was gonna say she's not. The spell just tells me she doesn't necessarily know what that means. She just knows that it's X type. She's not arcane. She's divine.
Yeah, but it can't tell you what kind of magic it is. It seems confused. It says
Sorry,
it says
you confused the spell?
it says for a moment divine. Wait.
So it's more than
Evocation.
one type.
Well, no. It's not saying that there's multiple types. It's saying it's like this is this. No, it's this. No, it's this. It's this.
It is a type of magic that is fluctuating between the types of magic that we know of.
And it is confused as all hell. Because it seems to be at random. Why do I keep doing that?
I'm so glad I'm working with the kid right now.
Clean. Too clean. This is unnatural.
However, Karen, I will note that there is one thing that does seem a little out of place.
Oh?
A small trail that leads from where you knocked over the cauldron. Very small, almost unnoticeable until you get real close. But it goes right towards where Haggis' body was.
Okay, so when I knocked over the cauldron, spilled it out, something in the cauldron apparently was there as I was beating the other hag corpse, just beating the other hag corpse with the cauldron. Probably should have
Yes.
examined the contents of the cauldron. Oops. Yeah, I'll point that out to Dusk.
She looks confused. She says outright, this is outside of my wheelhouse. I do not understand arcane matters.
I know enough. I know enough about the arcane to be distrustful. Well, no, more hostile. Oh, this is bad.
Are we in
Very
danger?
bad.
So there's something here. Something. Essentially, what I'm getting out from this is that there's something magical that was created from that ritual, and it's crawling around in here somewhere.
I think, considering everything else is gone, that it may be as well. But we don't know. We don't know. I think we need to. We need to go to the town quickly. Report in.
I will say that the magic that you were detecting, it does seem to have been started to have faded, so it's not around anymore.
Okay.
Whatever was causing it has left.
We need. need to hire a sage.
You might have to hire the school.
Maybe. I mean, find the right person. They may know what the hell's going on, but I can tell you this: it is nothing to do with fishing.
Nothing. All right. With all that, I'm guessing you're gonna go to the well.
Yes, check the well. I mean, we have. I'm going to have to double check the barn first to make sure we didn't miss anything.
Yeah, you can do that. As you look down the well, and you peer down. By now, the sun's at the right angle that you can see down all the way to the bottom. While the water is murky and bloody, there's nothing left. It's just the water.
So the corpses are missing there as well.
Yes.
Is
She
the
will.
scarecrow remains still there?
Yes, they are.
She will purify the well. First, she tells those that are present what is going on, and she lets, if they have, she says, if you have any ideas or insight, I'm going to try to purify the well. Feel free to think of something.
Can I make like a Arcana check to see if I know anything about hags that might explain any of this?
You can go ahead. No, there doesn't seem to be anything that you know of that would explain uh, this. With everything disappearing, does not seem like it would be the work of hags.
I'm unsure to be happy about that or worried.
There are a few unutilized checks too.
Arcane. Don't have arcane. Religion.
No. I mean, you can definitely try religion or anything like that.
Alex knows a little bit about Arcana. Maybe he's going to try that as well. A little bit better than someone's.
With your religion check, you haven't heard of any gods or deities that would do this sort of thing, or demons. And with your Arcana check, this seems to be new territory. Alright, so you do that, you get the well purified. It only takes a couple of attempts. And then you're going to check out the barn?
I'm going to assume that it's going to take more than a couple attempts. She's going to be there for a while.
Well, after your first attempt, the water actually clears up quite a bit, but you can tell it's still pretty murky. And the second attempt, it looks crystal clear. Whatever was in there, a lot of it was taken away. The plot thickens.
I don't actually know. Sorry, this is for me now, right?
Yeah, you can go now.
Sure. I'm just training the kid, right? Like, just keeping him distracted, letting him play with the bow and arrow and shit.
If you want to let a child play with a bow and arrow, yes.
How old's the child?
Probably 8 or 9 years old.
Old
That's
enough to
old.
learn.
Yeah, that's old enough. I was around that age.
Exactly. And Todak will have a stick handy to help him learn.
I have a short bow he can use. He could, I could have handed that over to you if that was your intent.
To be fair, actually, I think we're about the same size, so he could use
Yeah.
my bow without issue.
I would rather he use mine because you may leave residue on yours that could get him sick.
Oh, right. Yeah, okay. Use Anti-Dusk's fucking bow, kid. I will teach him about the various critters and how to aim and how to shoot and
I'm
tell him how to.
so glad one of you said that before you went along with that.
That'd have been hilarious. I'd also, and then he would have kept failing, and then Todak's negative reinforcement would have just kept going. I guess Todak might also ply the child for knowledge, information, anything that he might not have told the others. Because I am a small woodland creature, and I am adorable and charming, and people like to talk to that.
He is accepting of your teaching, but he is terrified of you. You suggested people throw rocks at him until he is bloodied and you find out who is evil. He
You know,
is terrified.
to be fair, I didn't expect anyone else in the party to just let the rocks hit him. I just wanted the people to throw the rocks. I figured Dusk would have gotten in front of him, would have bounced the rocks off her armor. Yeah. See, I understand how the party works.
The kid doesn't know that.
Yeah, I mean, we shot down the idea before we even got there, but I was already in the. I have a tiny hut. I can make that invisible. They can't see it. They never know the kid was completely, protected. It's not a bad thing, though. I think the zone of truth might be an easier one.
Might be a bit more reliable.
Nothing is more reliable than letting people express their true assholery.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
I do attempt to placate the child, telling him that it was just an idea. I do not intend to allow anything else to hurt him, and this training will help him protect himself.
Okay, well, he starts to take to you a little bit more, and he does seem to respond well to the bow.
Good.
And then he goes in for a hug.
Todak does not hug, mostly for your own safety. I just keep him at leg's reach. I just put my long rubbery leg against him and say, no. You want to hug somebody? Dusk is that way.
I thought you were going to poke him with a stick. That would have been funnier.
What's the kid's name again? Bob?
Bob.
Okay. Bob, you stay
Yep.
here. You keep practicing. I'm going to go check and see what everyone else is. You know what? No, that is a terrible idea. Todak is going to sit right here and wait for them to come to him. Keep shooting.
Bob, whose parents never liked him. That's who we're dealing with.
I mean, his name is Robert, and they've been calling him Bob instead of Robbie or Robert. I mean, how cruel can you
I'll
get?
also teach him how to track animals. Probably
What's that?
pretty.
Okay, you can definitely start doing that. We'll go back over. So the well's purified, like I said, in just a couple of turns, which is very surprising. You said you are going to go check the barn, though, right?
Yeah.
Right. The barn is in the exact same state it was left in when you guys got here. Nothing's really changed. It's just how it is.
Once they've cleaned the place up, Dusk is going to go about locking the place up. Close the doors, lock it up, board it, quick, lock it down kind of thing there. So things, to try to keep out as much stuff as possible before they leave. We were going to have to report this, and somebody's going to end up showing up to deal with it. But until that time,
Seeing Dusk do this, Karen's going to go to the shed and see if she can find like a shovel.
There doesn't seem to be a shovel there that is in good working condition.
Drats.
wait, what? Why? Were they not? The family was not. Does this place give the feel of abandoned? Or
Nope.
was abandoned before they showed up?
The shovel that Karen finds, the handle was snapped in half.
Okay.
It's like
Yeah,
somebody
that's-
tried to beat something over the head and it snapped in half over their head and ended up in a barn.
Yeah, that's good enough for what she needs it for. She's going to go over to the front of the barn and just like dig out the word evil exclamation point in front of the barn door.
Evil? Evil!
Basically.
Todak pops around the corner. You called?
Uh,
God damn it, Barnacle Boy.
so yeah, I'm guessing that that day is spent.
It absolutely is.
So, for the rest of you, is that the plan? We're going to question the villagers, his parents particularly, within a zone of truth, and then, depending on how they answer, send word to the main city to see if we can't find the shelter for the child.
Do you explain how Zone of Truth works to Karen?
I can.
Okay, if
She
you do, then
asks.
yeah, then she'll ask, what if they are able to resist it? Will you cast it again?
I could try. I mean, unfortunately, that's just the nature of things. It's not. It's not. Nothing is foolproof.
Well,
But
we can ask them. Well, wouldn't it be suspicious if they're trying to hide something from us in the first place?
I guess all you guys can do is head to the hamlet and try to find out.
I need to restructure my spells in the morning. So
In the
will-
morning, I mean.
All right.
that off.
Our bows aren't easy to make, are they?
Those?
Bows.
No. You need the appropriate skill. They're not particularly. Most crafting things is based off of the value of the product. You typically have to put up half the amount, half of its value in materials, and then spend a certain amount of time based off of the total value of the product in order to craft it.
That's fair.
But you also need the appropriate tools and skill to do so. Five.
Todak's also going to see if the child has any proclivity for magic.
Okay, how you gonna do that?
I'm going to attempt to show him the absolute most basic spell I can cast. What is the most basic spell I can cast?
Cantrip is the most basic spell if you have.
Oh, I do not. I'm up to level 1 spells. So I have no way to do that.
He may be able to pull off a level 1 spell if he is really talented, but probably not. At the very least, if he has magical talent, there may be. He may not be able to pull off a full-on spell, but he may be able to do something like create smoke or manipulate, minor, really minor type stuff.
Yeah, no, I don't have cantrips, so I can attempt. I'm gonna try to speak with animals now that we're in the general vicinity, just to see if that fascinates him for a little bit. Until nighttime comes around, I can teach him about how to follow the animals and how to speak to them and how to understand them using the skill I have for the 3rd level called Primeval Awareness. That'll be it.
Sorry, I don't mean to cut in, but Alexandrite, you typically have bless.
Alexandrite's not here at the moment.
I'm going to assume he does. And I'm going to switch that one out.
I will state that if you do try to ask to see if the kid can perform any sort of magic, he shakes his head no. He is not even going to try because he assumes you're talking arcane and he no likey.
All right, so I think I've got my spells squared away for the following day. She will spend the time, the night with sleeping with the kid, keeping everybody protected within the bubble, just in case. Probably won't need it, but nevertheless. And she will, again, like last time, talk to him about. Sh- she is a cleric, but she's not. What do you call it? An alkalite, I guess you could say. She isn't one that she's not like a priest or anything like that. So her knowledge of it is more uh, through worship rather than study. If you get what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So she uses what she knows to try to inspire the boy. At the very least, it'll keep it may keep him calm.
He does listen. It seems like he was never introduced to any sort of religion while at the town, so.
Yeah, so just to keep him busy. She's busy that day and night. So
The kid brings home a squirrel.
girls good eating.
Squirrel makes good stew.
It
Todak
does.
brings back an elk.
Well, the little one is starting out, but he might get there one day.
Hmm. Okay. Another night out here in this haunted ass farm.
And another night passes without event.
Todak has become tiring of this place.
Okay, so let's head back to the the village.
Yeah.
The corpses are gone, so we cannot bring them with us. But perhaps in the process of heading back, she's going to ask the child, Bob, whether or not he knows any of the people that was with them, so that we can tell the villagers uh, who was lost.
He
Villagers give enough of a fuck.
he does know the other kids, but he doesn't know anybody else. And that's not disappointing. That's good.
Meh. Also, before we leave, I set the straw on fire of the scarecrow.
Is that a skill check or is it a saving throw or what is that?
It's
Who
a thing.
Well, I mean, if it's a skill check, then I can influence it.
You don't want to influence this.
Yeah.
2 more levels, and if it's a save, you get a +2.
It's not a save or a skill, as far as I know.
No, it's not. It's just a table
Cool.
that has to
Alright,
be
so
done
let's-
every day.
They we head back. Um, I'm sure there's lots of conversation and chatting and whatnot going on along the way, but I don't know that it's wise to really try and play it all out. You know what I'm saying? But
Yeah.
she will ask Bob what he would like to do if his parents are, in fact, if he does not want to go with his parents. Would he like to go back to come with us back to the main city, or would he prefer to stay in the village somehow, some way?
He says he wants to go back to with you guys.
Okay.
Okay, good to know. And that popping us on this map, remind me, whatever happened to the assassin girl?
Didn't we kill her?
No, we
No.
sewed her arms and legs together.
She was being held by the village under house arrest.
Oh, she's gone then.
Well, actually, as you guys walk up, they are cleaning up the remains of a pyre.
Yep, called it.
Good
Fair
job.
enough.
Might have taken a little bit longer with a tiefling, but
Um, she's going to do along the route. She's going to point out that if they treated this child this deplorably, may stand to reason that the other children might be. It might be wise to um, take them with us as well. Bring them to the city.
Well,
so you
those
want to-
children, from what you were told before, were actually treated quite well. It was only the ones that were taken that were treated horribly.
It doesn't matter. The fact of the matter is that they chose one over another. That means that the parents are corrupt and cannot be trusted.
you
They
want
are. They have sinned.
you want to take all of the children of the town?
Well,
in?
I'm not suggesting it. Well, I'm placing it on the table. It may be something that we, if this village is sacrificing some of their children, can they really be trusted to behave morally? These children are at risk. Hell, the entire village is at risk. If they are in fact guilty of their crimes, they're probably going to be put to the sword. And then what of the children that are left behind?
Oh, Karen, you brought up a good point. This is not the one with the assassin, but there was still a pyre.
Oh, that's
Todak has
foreboding.
more concerns.
Well, that raises a couple of questions then.
So let's find out who was on the Barbie.
By all means.
As you guys walk up, there does seem to be a few less townspeople. The ones that still have kids are very upset and angry. And as you walk up, you notice that the crops that were growing and thriving have started to wither and die.
Sweet fuck, they made sacrifices to nature, didn't they?
When you guys walk back into town, they shoot you the dirtiest of looks. And one man walks up and is like, "What are you doing here?"
This place seemed to have a hag problem. We killed it.
Damn.
And now we're wondering if perhaps there might be some remnants of that problem left that still need cleaning out.
We've already taken care of that. They've been burned. They're witches. They've done this to us.
Who's they? Todak starts slowly moving his pig sticker out of its sheath.
The ones that made the deal with the hags. They've cursed us. And then he notices the child clinging to Dusk. You brought a demon spawn home!
Yes.
If you believe that you're going to lay one hand on this child, think again.
Keep talking like that, humanoid. You're gonna find out what it really means to have a frog in your throat.
Oh, that could be taken so many ways.
Exactly.
If you would like to resolve this issue, I would suggest a town meeting. Do you have a hall? A meeting point? A square?
And what exactly do you want done?
Questions answered. Under the guy, under the what's the word I'm
Guidance?
looking for?
Influence?
Not guidance. Under the watchful eye of the gods, Nicholas in particular.
The one that was addressing you looks, he is a little shaken and terrified because, threats, and someone started drawing a sword, so he gathers everybody up to where you guys are.
I've never
Well,
seen
for
someone
the
actually get threatened by a frog in the throat line.
I'm going to mental link. I'm going to remind everybody zone of truth means everybody in the area, that includes us, cannot lie if you make the saving throw. If you do not make the saving throw. Ask your questions quickly.
Todak will choose to fail, and instead, who was burned?
one person hesitates for a second and says, "The parents of the kids who were taken away."
On the grounds that what? They made a deal?
They made a deal with the arcane, yes.
Hmm.
I knew the arcane would bring nothing but trouble. And look, now we have rotting crops. We're not going to be able to survive the winter.
It won't be easy. But if you work hard, I see no reason for you not to succeed. And if you don't think that you can, then perhaps moving to the city is not a bad idea. Until such time as you can fix your lands. Incidentally, I suggest that you not try to resist the spell. It would look very badly on you in the eyes of Glass.
Todak just chooses to fail.
None of them seem to resist it. They don't even know if they can.
Did you know about what your well, I guess countrymen were doing?
But of course, how could we not? After they came back those years ago, they started treating their kids differently and things started turning out better for us. How could we not know they did something? But we took advantage of it.
Todak is liking you less and less by the second.
That was basically my point.
Sounds like you are complicit, but you didn't know the exact details.
Todak has Sorry, go ahead.
I was going to say it also suggests that they eventually did the right thing, which is not a bad, which is a plus in their favor. But you're not but you're not absolved of all guilt either. Are there any among you that openly supported these hags?
Oh, of course not. Who would openly support a hag? Even they didn't do it. They were wary, but they made the deal. You can't go back on a deal. Look what happens.
Okay, let me ask that again. Are there any among you that are that made deals with them and are hiding it?
They all speak up and say no together. The ones that made the deal, their kids are gone.
And so were they.
Yes.
So you killed all of the children as well as the parents.
Well, no. They only had the one set of kids. Didn't really have time to
Where
make
are the
others.
rest? Where are the rest of the children?
They're away playing. We didn't want them to see that. They're kids.
These are dark times. mentally, she's like, "Is there any other questions that we need answered? Because I'm drawing a blank right now."
They killed the families after the children were given up. The parents that they killed treated their kids like assholes.
Yeah. So they've,
And
they've effectively punished the people responsible for the deals. By
and yet
death.
now the crops are doing terribly.
Well, the crops have probably started doing terribly the minute that we killed the hags in the first place. The
Doesn't
magic
it-
that they.
Question. Can I make a perception check to see if again they said all of them at the same time said no. Can I make a perception check to see if one of them was just mouthing no but couldn't actually say it?
You can. It seemed like they all said no. Nobody mouthed yes accidentally, because it would still be them telling the truth, even if they didn't audibly say it.
Okay.
Still don't like this. Todak feels like there is something still seriously wrong here.
Well,
Yeah.
of course, they're glaring at the child and they're ready to freaking set him on fire.
To be fair, I was ready to stone the child to figure out which one of these assholes was guilty. But now it seems like that plan might have flown out the window because everybody would have thrown a rock.
Why do you think this child is a demon child?
They made a deal with the arcane. Of course, he's a demon child. Look what he's brought. If he stays here, it'll get worse.
No, that sounds like the parents were at fault. He was just a tool that they planned to throw away.
We don't
Just-
want him here.
Well, he's not staying here, so you don't need to worry about that. But just so that you understand, those that were taken, those that were sacrificed by their families, were in fact sacrificed in a ritual. This one we managed to save. They are not complicit in this, as far as I know, ritual. It was held against their will. They are victims.
Somebody in the back speaks up. Oi! You should let him die! And somebody smacks me like, shut up, Robert!
Todak just leans to the right. Yeah, shut up, human Robert.
Understand that had the ritual succeeded, then things may have gotten a lot worse for you. You don't want that sort of thing over your heads, do you?
Well, we weren't the ones who made the deal.
Doesn't matter. You live here. You're going to deal with the consequences regardless. This land was under the protection of hags for some sort of blood pact or whatever. Now that the hags are gone, the land is going back to the way it was, or at least that's my interpretation. If you don't think that's the case, then perhaps sending somebody to the city to get an expert out here to check it wouldn't be a bad idea. Somebody that might be able to cleanse the land, a druid perhaps.
They kind of murmur to each other and give you a look.
Don't clerics do that?
This is
Some I suppose
nature.
can. Some nature clerics might be able to, but druids are very particular when it comes to divine, nature-oriented magic. Your options are there. What do you intend to do?
We'll talk about this. You five need to leave.
We will.
Todak thought about moving in and watching all of you live your short lives.
Yeah,
Sorry.
I don't have I don't have much interest in that, to be completely honest.
Hmm.
I can send word to the city if that would help you. But I first need some assurances that what I am doing here is the right thing to do. Convince me.
Todak tells you in your head that might be a waste of time.
Yes, we took advantage of what they did, but we didn't think that the hags were gonna call on it. They're hags. We could have kept the kids safe, but no, they had to treat them like shit, and we couldn't do anything. They're not our kids.
What's that old saying? It takes a village to raise a child. You fucked up. You know it.
Our kids are well adjusted and fine.
Apparently not. They're over there playing in the field while you're burning people.
Because
They
they're
might even-
because they're not watching us burn people, obviously. They're well adjusted.
I hate cities. Todak is done with this silly place.
For every second that passes, I think these people are less worthy of forgiveness.
Can we Inquisition them just out of, like, spite?
No, not really. I mean, I need counsel. I need to talk to the city and find out what they would have done. It's really not up to us.
I mean, Todak still has a pouch full of torches. It could be up to us.
Yeah,
Listen,
Karen
this is
has
all
some
fit in the
oil.
mind.
but the children would suffer, and I don't think the children deserve it. The family and the people did the right thing. They may have taken a little bit longer to find their courage to do so. They did do the right thing. They are not, and they are going to suffer some sort of punishment, but I don't know what that is. Maybe a season, a winter with poor food supplies is exactly what they deserve.
Fine, let the gods punish them.
Anything else?
I think Todak is done with this place. This is a silly place.
Yep. Karen looks away from the crowd, giving them one last like death glare full of violent spite before like sort of like patting the kid continue back down the road this way out of the town. Come on, good Robert. Let's leave this place.
Please don't call me Robert. Robert's the village idiot.
It's
Oh.
Bob.
Okay, Bob.
Bob. We are done here.
All right.
May your winter be short and fruitless.
No, long winter.
Long and harsh.
I suggest you learn how to hunt.
Remember, the bigger the teeth, the better the meat. Find the thing with the biggest teeth and you'll be fine.
All right. So you guys are making your way back towards the city.
Yep.
Okay.
Still, yeah, she says as they were working on this, I'm still not sure that it would. I'm still torn with the idea of taking the other children with us. They don't deserve to be suffering through the winter, if you get what I'm saying.
Well, they would definitely put up a fight if you tried to take their children.
I mean, you could probably take them, but I think it's best we just speak to the Earl, I believe, or at least the Earl's
Yes.
men, and tell them what went down and how the townsfolk were complicit. They knew a little bit, at least be suspicious, but they took advantage of that and chose to stay ignorant in the reap what they could.
I wouldn't
knew
be
enough.
surprised.
Implicated.
Yeah, they knew enough, and I wouldn't be surprised that the only reason that they decided to turn on the offenders was because the hags were destroyed and things turn sour.
Yes,
We also may have mentioned the Inquisition was here, so that would probably also spur them into acts of somewhat zealotry.
Yeah, that's true
Yeah.
too.
possibly, yeah. And like I said, they suspected heresy, but tried to reap the rewards from it instead of getting rid of it. So they are, like I said, complicit in some degree.
Yeah, I
Right.
mean, some of them may have been in a situation where they simply didn't think they had the opportunity to do what was right, especially if they believed everybody else was against them. Sticking your neck out when you're alone could get, could cause more harm than good. I don't know.
Apparently, there were enough of them in the town to burn the heretics.
Real easy to burn a couple of heretics when you sneak up on them while they're sleeping.
Could we tell how many people were like on the pyre?
Uh, I mean, roughly, probably at least 6 people.
Okay, so
A
like
mother and a
3
father.
families.
Did they take the woman that was locked up as well?
She was in a different town.
Was she? I thought she was in this town.
No, she was in the third town.
We should maybe head over there as well and check on her.
Yeah, we need to go collect her. She's going to the city for judgment.
Yeah,
If
we're
she's
probably
still
too late,
breathing.
but we can try.
If we're too late, then we did what was right. But we can't assume that we're too late until we know for certain.
Well, you guys
Alright,
could
then.
definitely start doing that, but I mean, you are dragging this kid to and fro everywhere and not taking him to a place.
Yeah. Well,
If need be, Karen can give him a piggyback ride.
kid's 8 years old.
Yeah.
How strong is she?
I can still carry about 30 pounds without going encumbered. Oh, bad rolls. Maybe. Well, actually, no. The first one was good.
Okay, well, you guys do get there around dusk. Um,
No, but we want to get to town, not around dusk.
funny.
I'm hilarious.
You haven't made me laugh like the time I had to do the one-on-one with you yet, so fuck off.
We're working on that.
God, I couldn't breathe for a bit during that one.
Oh, no. Very nice.
So you guys get there, and I mean, it doesn't look like there's anything left around. There's the people there, and when you go towards where you stashed her away, she's not there. However, just like in the other town, the crops are withering and dying.
Well, then let's ask around town if they've seen our prisoner.
They
Supposedly, they were supposed to be watching her, so.
they all look at you and say, "She's gone now."
Dad gone?
She's back with her people.
So dead gone.
Is that what that means?
The filthy demon is gone. She's gone.
There we go. So you killed a prisoner who had not yet. Todek is fuzzy on the description here, but you took law that was meant for Inquisition law.
Well, she was working with the hags. Why wouldn't we kill her? I mean, after all, look what's happening to our crops. We are all going to die. They seem like they're on some sort of drug because they're still really happy.
I mean, you guys kind of deserve it, so.
We didn't do anything. This was the work of the ones who got taken.
Yeah, well, that's part of the problem. You didn't do anything. Nevertheless, you're not dead, and you're not going to die unless you give up. So I suggest you get to work and start shoring up your needs for the winter.
They kind of just shrug their shoulders and keep going about their work.
All right. Well, I suppose there's not much that we can do here. Let's head back.
All right, so takes about 2.5 days. Karen, if you want to give me your 2 rolls, one at a time, please.
Sorry, what's the roll we're making?
Just me.
Oh, okay.
87 was the second one.
We still don't know.
Todak is never going to open that tent again without being asked to come in first.
And 58.
She has many secrets. That is clear. I think we've known this for a while, though.
Yeah. So as you guys are traveling on the first day after your first rest, when you start traveling, you guys do notice that Karen's appearance starts changing a little bit here and there for what's visible, shifting sporadically every 30 seconds.
Karen,
Oh, great.
I have a question.
Yes.
What is happening to you?
Don't
I don't-
worry, she says as her hair noticeably turns from like white to like a blonde.
Well, as much as I would love to say I won't worry, I'm worrying. Is this going to be a problem for you? Is this going to be a problem for us?
No, no, everything is fine. And their eyes turn like a deep green, for eventually like turning like back to normal.
Do I have
Did
to
you get
cast?
too close to the Hage magic, maybe? You ran into that circle.
As you say that, one of her arms grows exceptionally large and kind of drags behind her like the chimpanzee.
Do I need to cast my spell and ask you again?
No, that's fine. You don't have to worry about it. As from under her robes comes a lobster claw.
Todak is now more concerned than he was 2 minutes ago when he heard the term, you should not be worried.
Well, something like that doesn't happen, but body proportions, facial features, hair color.
Oh no, that does happen. Remember, she's a somatic hybrid.
Yeah, that's true.
Karen, my concern is one, what will this do to you ultimately? Is it dangerous? And two, if others with less that are less familiar with your behavior or with your personality may not be so inclined to want to keep you safe. This could be a problem. We need to discuss this.
Fine, fine. But I can assure you, this has nothing to do with hags. No, I've become beautiful.
As you start talking, your mock falls off your face and your mouth just drops as you kind of look like in a cartoon where the jaw drops and when they see a beautiful woman.
Yep, my lobster claw picks up my jaw off the floor, tries to attach it. As it seems she has she's moving now. She's trying to like move the child away because I think she was carrying her carrying the kid at the point. But Auntie Karen now seems to have 4 arms, 2 of them being like lobster claws.
I'll take the kid.
Todak starts scooping up stuff that he owns, putting it in his backpack. All right. Todak has hunted many big and terrible things. Todak has claimed trophies from those same things. Todak is not prepared for any of what this is. Todak is going for breakfast. Bye.
Yeah, Dusk, I think we might need some divine help to get Kevin back to normal.
Oh no, I'm beautiful. Beautiful.
No.
No.
Normal is objective, says the frogman, leaping away.
Well, yeah, but you're a frogman. You don't randomly grow extra limbs.
Put him next to a nuclear reactor, he might.
Oh, it should be a full moon tonight, but it's not going to be.
All right. You guys keep talking. I've got to go use the washroom. Be back.
Again, what is going to happen when you walk into town? Is this something that you can get control of?
It's been fun so far, but
This is not fine.
yes, today, today's been rather odd.
Well, what can we do to help you?
Just keep walking, walking, walking.
I should be fine after a night's rest. She said that after, as one of her lobster claws sort of like melts and turns into a long, like, octopus tendril.
I don't know what to do about this.
The kid just kind of looks like, I don't want to be outside anymore. Can we keep going?
You stick close to me, okay?
He just
We
nods.
keep walking. We keep walking.
All right. As the next day happens, Karen's back to normal. There's no shifting bodies, no weirdness.
She does seem still have those extra pair of arms on her back now. Those seem to be permanent.
Back.
Welcome back. Karen is back to normal. It is the next day, and you guys are
Yep.
approaching the town, the city, whatever
So
it is.
she still, yep, she still has her extra arms, but otherwise she's not like completely like shifting and shambling.
Not gonna lie, Todak might be a little jealous of the extra appendages. Might.
All right. Now we can leave this here. We can go for a little bit longer just to get everything wrapped up. It's up to you guys.
We're just literally going to be heading into town, and then we have these however many days to basically organize ourselves. Was that right, or is that already done?
No, you have the 60 days to organize yourselves once you guys get back into town. There is just the final, getting your payment and talking to the guy that sent you out.
Well, let's get that stuff squared away then. I'm going to lose these notes, but first things first. During the trip to get here, she did want to use her sending spell to send messages to her church and request a suggestion as to what to do about the child, whether or not they can, asking whether or not they can take him in and provide for him, and if not, if there are any other options available.
They do respond back to you. They, with the sending spell, saying they'll meet you at the gate when you arrive. I assume you notify them that you'll be there within a few days.
Yeah.
Right. So yeah, there is some people at the church waiting for you. They have notified the Earl as well that you guys have been successful and are on your way back with a small child, and the one that hired you is waiting at the gate for you.
Debrief. Let him know everything that happened.
He holds up a finger. It's like, that's quite interesting. Oh, it's good news for you. The first people in a while get to see the Earl. He wants to personally congratulate you.
She nods. you need all of us? Some of us had homes to get to.
Well, it would be best for you all to gather up together and go see him. After all, he wants to have an audience with all four of you. 5 of you, actually. There's the child. He wants to address him as well.
Okay. You up for that, Bob?
He looks and just kind of nods sheepily.
That or I keep dragging you out into the woods until you die that way. I mean, yes, you should do this.
So you guys all gather up to 17 right here. That's where the largest place is. And I don't have a picture for it yet because I didn't have time to grab one last night like I thought I would because work.
Fine.
But you guys are brought into a room, and after you get settled and sit down, a cloaked being walks into the room and looks at all of you. It's like, ah, you are the adventurers that I hired, yes?
I believe so.
Maybe. What's hired mean?
Means you're getting paid for this, small frog folk.
Fuck is paid. Oh, right, the coins? Yeah, we use
Yes.
coins, right?
Yep. Trade coins.
Okay.
You'll like them. They're usually pretty shiny.
Then yes, pay us.
She
Yes.
chuckles.
I'll get to that in just a second. He walks up to the small child and looks down at him. You guys can't see any facial features. He's wearing a plague mask as well. His hands are hidden behind the cloak. And he reaches out and pats his head gently, and you see not a human hand, but a mechanical hand.
Insight.
Abomination.
What are you trying to glean from your insight?
I'm just watching general demeanor. Just looking for anything. What do you call it? Any body language that's
No,
that
I'm not
suggest,
muted.
Like he's lying or trying to be deceptive in any way. She's just being defensive.
You can't glean anything from that. He, as he pats the child's head, he says, "Young child, would you like to stay with me? You'll be well fed here. Also, I don't know what happened to your badges.
We have
It is a new
opportunities
month.
for learning. I don't mean to barge in, but
Absolutely, he will. I didn't change anything. It's
Pretty
just
good
what
deal, Bob.
happened. He nods and the Earl walks back to his desk and sits down, taking off his mask and his cloak. And underneath you see a Warforged.
she grins. Well, that's not something you see every day.
Well,
She didn't
no, it's not. I unfortunately was afflicted by the plague, which is why I treat it so harshly, which is unfortunate, but I was able to have my mind and soul transferred to this. I paid quite a lot of money for it because I wanted to make sure that the people here no longer have to suffer like that. When you die or you're close to dying, it kind of opens your eyes.
No, I don't doubt that. We do appreciate whatever you can do for the boy. He's seen a lot of hardship.
I will make sure he is well taken care of. Kappa!
As for
Us-
what? I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Also, tell him to keep up with his bow work. I will find him one day, and he will have to challenge me to an archery contest.
Also, how you doing today, Fingerbow? I will make sure he does that. Do you like hunting? He nods and says that he liked learning from the Frogman.
I am the Todak.
At the very least, archery is fun, even if it isn't against living targets.
As for your pay, he grabs a coffer from underneath the desk and opens it up. If you'd like to come here, you're going to be wanting to put this in your wherever you carry your coin.
Well, we're probably going to have to divvy it up and whatnot.
Yes, well, I cannot remember anymore how much I promised you.
A lot.
Well, that's the thing, small frog person. After what I've been told you had to go through, the sacrifices, the hags, you deserve a lot more than what was probably originally promised.
I have questions about that. I was wondering whether or not you had any experts we could talk to, because I am really curious. There's a lot of things that happen there that I don't understand, and I would like to understand them.
Like what?
Well, like what the ritual actually did, if it succeeded, if it failed, why the. She looks down at the boy. She'll talk directly to our benefactor's brain and says, "I don't want to trigger any bad thoughts in the child, so I'm going to do it this way. Long story short, we don't know what happened to all of the corpses. We don't know what happened to to those villagers, whether or not they're still corrupted. There's a lot of unsolved questions, and I would like to, if you have experts, I might be inclined to talk to them about it."
Well, I can't quite grant you permission to go to the college district yet. Seems like the wizards over there are doing some sort of experiment, and it's best to not let people too close. I will, however, send a message out to them to investigate and send some druids down to the villages to help recover their crops as best we can.
I would greatly appreciate that. Though, again, I would stress, I don't know whether or not they are without guilt. And anyone that you send, it might be wise to send them with protection.
I don't think that'll be much of a problem. After all, people will take advantage of anything they can to get an edge on others, and
To survive. You're right.
especially to survive, yes. And while what they did was probably not right, they are uneducated, unfortunately, down there, and they will do whatever they can.
Yes, I know. It's unfortunate, but I still, due diligence, I had to suggest caution.
I do greatly appreciate it. I would not like to send somebody down who's going to get hurt, but we will send down a few people as well, that which we can spare.
She nods. Thank you.
You're very welcome. And as you guys are talking, he starts counting out a couple of platinum here and there, and sets out 4 stacks of 5 on the table.
Nice.
Cool. I would have to leave at some point.
This is a good point to wrap it up, so we can leave this here for today. I do apologize for being late again. Work kept me late because reasons.
Assholery.
Basically,
Yeah.
yes.
Yep.
So- Will we cover the downtime days in the next session, or are we going to do it mid-game?
We can probably do it out in some role play in the channel and stuff like that. Unless you guys have something like that you want everybody to know about, or that needs to be broadcasted, we can wait.
Yep. Chaza, I'll see you next week. The rest of you guys I see tomorrow, and then bye. I'm off with that.
Yeah, later. And I was not up all night doing peyote.
I wish I was up all night doing peyote. That sounds like a damn good time.
I would love to turn into like a dog or something and go on friggin' adventures, biting people in the ass, but nope.
You people are weird.
It's in chat.
All right then. Good game, everyone. Have a nice day and stay safe.
Good game, everyone. Rex, were you going to be up to doing something after this, or did you not get that game
I thought-
installed?
Of course, I got the game installed, but I was worried you'd want to go back to sleep since you only got like 4 hours and 4 hours and change of sleep.
I'll be fine. I got energy drinks.
That's my excuse. Damn it. All right, I'll see you on there then.
All right, we will be switching over to the different Discord channel. I'll be shutting the stream down for just a second so I can switch things over, and we're going to be playing Hide and Shriek.
Good night, guys. Thanks for the game. That was fun.
Good. Have a good one, guys.